Are you looking to start a short-term rental business? Or maybe you're thinking of adding to your existing portfolio? Finding the best Airbnb property in the top locations is a key to succeeding in the short-term rental business. Because no matter how good you are at hosting or managing a property, you won't be able to maximize your returns if your property isn't a winner to begin with. So before launching out on your short-term rental journey, here are just a few steps that you can do to make sure that you score a home that is a sure winner. Number 1, determine your budget. First, work out a budget. Calculate your savings, current streams of income, and your monthly expenses. Think about any changes that you might expect in your regular earnings, needs, and living expenses over the next few years. Be honest and accurate with your cash situation, since you need the numbers to plan on how much you can spend on a down payment and other costs involved with buying or even leasing or renting a property. Set a comfortable price that you can afford with your budget and then stick to it. Keep in mind that the price of properties you'll be looking at isn't the only thing that you'd have to pay for. Buying a home comes with a lot of costs, and some of them are actually hidden. Things include inspection fees, closing costs, property tax, insurance, renovation of any necessary repairs, interior design, furnishing, utilities, supplies, property management fees, unless you're planning on actually managing the property yourself, which I would definitely recommend. Maintenance, repairs, and landscaping, Airbnb's service fees, rental income tax, and software subscription fees that you'll probably be using if you are managing your property correctly. Now listen, that's a lot of costs involved if you're going to be buying or even renting a property for Airbnb, which is why I have another video which talks about co-hosting, which I think is the best strategy to get started on Airbnb because it comes at no cost to you and it's 100% profit. So check out that video right over here after finishing this one. And also remember to keep at least a few months of cash reserves in case you can't keep your unit occupied all the time. Number 2, decide on the financing method. Next, figure out if you're going to be financing your investment. Most first-time Airbnb investors choose a standard mortgage, but you can look at alternative ways like Airbnb loans, FHA loans, hard money loans, and even HELOC loans. No matter what kind of loan you're taking out, be sure to understand these important things: the minimum down payment, the standards for premium mortgage insurance or the PMI, interest rate and the length of the loan, and any other conditions. Now, mortgage rates have gone up a lot over the past year, and according to Mashvisor, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate was at 6.65% beginning of March 2023, up from 3.76% the year before. So it literally doubled in a year. But what can you expect with everything that's happening in the economy right now? So an alternative strategy, which I've hinted towards a few times in this video now, is rental arbitrage, where you lease out a property from another owner and then sublease it to a short-term rental guest. Now, I'm not saying that we're doing anything illegal with the strategy. Everything that we do with rental arbitrage is on board with the city, with the homeowner, with the guest. Everybody has to be on board if you do choose to plan and go the rental arbitrage route. But that is another strategy that does have a much lower cost of entry. And there are many people, like many of our students, who are able to scale up this strategy with multiple properties to start because it is a much lower cost of entry, and then they're able to generate the income for the property. I don't recommend it for everybody, but it is a strategy that you can utilize. Number 3 is choose your target guests and the appropriate type of property. The next thing that you need to do is to decide on the target guests that you're going to be helping. Different types of travelers choose different types of properties, and they all have their own set of needs, expectations, and preferences. You can choose amongst business travelers, couples on honeymoons, visitors attending a special event in town, digital nomads, remote workers, traveling nurses, large families, girls' weekends, getaways, guest destinations, weddings, or folks visiting relatives in a nearby university, hospital, or military complex, just to name a few. Target a specific group to cater to and think of how you can meet their needs and wants. Then decide on the type of property that would best suit them. Studio or 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom house, large duplex with yard, parking spaces, and a pool. Not all properties are meant for all types of people. Number 4, find a prime location. Next, look for a destination that's good for your target guests. Here are some things that you'll need to consider. Property prices. Look for places that have a median property price that isn't exceeding $1 million. Tourist and business traffic, which greatly affect occupancy. An occupancy rate of 60% or more would be ideal. Daily rates, seasonality, competition. Then narrow down your search to the neighborhood level. And now this is important because part of the area can be more advantageous than others. A bad neighborhood, for example, can really break your chances of getting high occupancy rates. Look for places that have amenities like restaurants, shops, gyms, public transportation, and high walkability scores, which you can find out on walkscore.com. And of course, low crime rate. 5. Check Airbnb laws, zoning, and regulations. Each neighborhood, county, and city has different rules and ordinances for short-term renting. Some of them may be very strict, others not so much. And just because they're not strict does not mean that it is a good market. Sometimes some rules are better than no rules. Now, you want to make sure that your chosen building and area allow for short-term renting of properties that are not owner-occupied. You'll also want laws that don't limit the number of days that you can rent out your home per year. Look at local government websites and the Chamber of Commerce, local media, and other online sources. Also, if you're within an HOA, definitely think twice if you are going to do this or not, because HOA basically circumvent all these rules. They can do whatever they want. So unless your HOA specifically allows short-term renting, then you may want to reconsider doing it there. Make sure that you understand all the regulations and the taxes and fees that you'll have to pay. The last thing that you want to do is to break the law, pay stiff fines, and then go to court or even worse, jail. 6. Search and analyze available properties. Now, there are a lot of real estate websites that you can go to find available properties, things like the MLS, Zillow, Trulia, Apartment Guide, HotPads, Sublet, to name a few. The list goes on. You can also look for foreclosures, bank-owned, and off-market properties, which can give you a much better ROI because of their lower prices. Then do a comparative market analysis or a CMA. Find a few homes in the same area that are similar to the ones you're interested in, similar in size, age, condition, that have been sold in the last few months. Check their prices and then compare them with your desired properties. It'll help you figure out the fair market value of that chosen property and prevent you from having to pay more than what the property is worth. It's actually a good idea to work with a real estate agent who specializes with real estate investments like Airbnb, because they know where to find the best deals and are familiar with the local short-term rental rules and regulations, and they're experts at negotiating. If you are looking for a real estate agent who is a short-term rental specialist, you can use the link in the description of this video and I can connect you with one locally. Oftentimes, these real estate agents who are specialists, let's say in vacation rentals or short-term rentals, can help you get a better price on your property because they know what to look for and how to be able to negotiate for that specific type of property. Number 7, do an Airbnb performance prediction. You can use real estate investment tools like Airbnb, Price Labs, Rabu, All the Rooms, Airbnb Ticks, Transparent, Mashvisor, the list goes on, and these will help you project the profitability of your investment. These are tools that provide metrics and data analysis, so that way you can gauge the current property prices, occupancy rate, monthly rental income, cash-on-cash returns, cap rates, even financing, startup, and overhead costs if you decide to start an Airbnb in your chosen area. Many experts recommend locations with an average monthly rental income of $2,000 or more and a cash-on-cash return of at least 2%, as well as a cap rate above 8%. Airbnb investing is still a good way to be able to make money in real estate if, and a big if, you play your cards right, and if you snag a positive cash flow property. So follow the steps that I just covered and you should be on your way to launching a profitable Airbnb business. But before you start your Airbnb business, you need to create the Airbnb business plan, because without this business plan, your business is primed to fail. So make sure that you watch this video here to see how to create yours today.